Why do I say don't call them chaptering out amendments? Because chaptering out is the problem and the solution is double jointing amendments. That's jointing with a T, not double joining. So let me set the stage. Usually at the end of the legislative session in the California State Legislature, you often hear legislators or staff talking about the need to get chaptering out amendments adopted. In fact, often you hear legislators stand up on the floor and say that they are offering chaptering out amendments to their bill. That is not the correct terminology. Again, chaptering out is the problem that needs to be addressed by double jointing amendments. So the double jointing amendments are what you are presenting, and that is the solution. So what is chaptering out even? Well, basically chaptering out refers to when provisions of one chaptered bill amend the same code section or sections of another chaptered bill. And the rule in California is that the higher chaptered bill number prevails after the lower chapter bill number. Now, chaptering out, again, can be avoided with the adoption of double jointing amendments to both bills prior to passage of those bills out of the legislature and obviously signature by the governor. Now, the chaptering out rule is actually a law. It's not a rule of the legislature. It is found in the California Government Code where we have our statutes. And it is found in Government Code Section 9605, Subdivision B. It says, in the absence of any express provision to the contrary in the statute that is enacted last, it shall be conclusively presumed that the statute which is enacted last is intended to prevail over statutes that are enacted earlier at the same session. And in the absence of any express provision to the contrary in the statute that has a higher chapter number, it shall be presumed that a statute that has a higher chapter number was intended by the legislature to prevail over a statute that is enacted at the same session but has a lower chapter number. So again, double jointing requires these technical amendments to be prepared by the Office of Legislative Counsel. And basically the double jointing amendments prevent an amended bill from being chaptered out by another bill when both bills amend the same code section or code sections. The Office of Legislative Counsel explains that double jointing amendments to a bill provide that the amended bill does not override the provisions of another bill where both bills propose to amend the same section of law. So remember that double jointing is the solution to the technical problem, and the chaptering out will occur unless the bill with the higher chapter number contains a provision to the contrary, i.e. chaptering out amendments. If the bill with the higher chapter number does not contain language addressing that situation, then the higher chapter number bill changes will supersede, which we call chaptering out, the same changes or different changes made to that same code section by the bill with the lower chapter number. So the double jointing amendments are used to prevent this chaptering out problem from occurring. Basically, those amendments allow all of the changes to the same code section that are proposed by two or more, sometimes 4 or 5 or a half a dozen bills, in fact. And again, the double jointing language has to occur in both measures in order to be effective, at least for the higher chapter number bill. So the next time your bill has a chaptering out problem, be sure to solve that problem with double jointing amendments.